How's it going, guys? For today's video, we're going to do an unboxing and setup of the new Traeger Pro 575. I debated about doing this video just because Traeger actually has a video of the assembly, and I think it's probably one of the best videos I've seen a company make of assembling one of their products, but it doesn't go into too much detail, so I just figured I'd go ahead and shoot this anyways here. Just giving you an overview of the box here. I have it set up on a stool here just so we can film it a little bit easier. It's going to come with these baling straps, so you're going to have to cut those off here. So let me go ahead and get this off the stool, and we'll go ahead and open this up. There's no need to cut this tape or anything. Once you remove the straps, all you got to do is lift up on this side, you can see. So, but let me go ahead and get it off the stool and open up the box, and then we'll go from there. I went ahead and took the top of the box off. See, it just pulls right up. You'll need to grab it on both sides and then kind of lift up at the same time. But you can see here, they're saying that it takes 2 people required for assembly. Well, I'm probably the size of 2 small humans, so I think we should be fine. I also got the front folding shelf that we'll be installing as well. This is an additional cost, so this doesn't come with the grill. But I gotta hand it to them. Their marketing is on point with this here. You can see this here has a little cup holders for your beverages. We'll see how well that works. I got some water here. Somebody left here, so beverages kind of sit there, and then we got a box that says start here. So I'll go ahead and grab this out. Sorry about that. I'm trying to do this all one-handed. And then it looks like there's these flaps that you're just gonna open up here, and the box should collapse. Here, there, and I'd imagine there's 2 down here. Here. All right. And then we'll just remove some of this here. Looks like we got a grate right here, the half-second shelf or whatever they call it. So let's go ahead and lay this down. So let's go ahead and get right into this box and see what's all in here. You got a nice little note from the CEO, some pellet guide telling you what pellets go with what, the assembly instructions here, so we'll be needing that, and then open this up here, owner's manual with a meat probe, all our hardware. They provide you with a nice little screwdriver so you don't have to get your own. Some packaging. I'm not quite sure what this is, so let me go ahead and get this off. I don't think I can do it. Oh, there you go. All right, wow, this is really well packaged. I'm pretty impressed. We got the legs, it looks like, with the wheels. The opposite legs without wheels. Got a, looks like the grate for the pellet hopper, which I'm not going to install. The bottom cooking grate here. And then it looks like this is zip tied here, so I'll have to get that off camera because I only have one hand. Probably should have taken all this out instead of filming it and then showing you what it is. Sorry for the shaky footage. Alright. Heat deflector, it looks like. And another box. And it says open me here, so we'll open it up. Looks like the chimney stack. and the power cord. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and just unpackage all this and kind of lay it out and unwrap it and everything, and then we'll get down to the directions and get this started. Alright, I went ahead and took everything out of the box, or its bags here. You can see I didn't show this. This was actually attached to the chimney stack here. These were actually attached to these wheels here. So this is the handle for the lid, and this is the side carrying handle or the pull handle. And then these are, it looks like they're the cross members to the legs for stability and stuff. And then inside this actual cup here, you got these little grease liners here. I thought they would be a little bit bigger than that, but you can see it covers a decent amount here. And then everything else you guys saw in the video. So we're gonna follow this step by step. I don't agree with setting the handle here first, but that's what it says here. It also says you need 2 people, like I mentioned, and a 6-pack is probably recommended. You know, you probably shouldn't drink that much unless you have 2 people, then that's 3 beers. But here we go. Step 1 is we're going to grab I, G, and E. So you're gonna see we have these here. We're gonna grab the handle and we're gonna stick it on here, but the way it's set up is you got your bolt, your washer, that's going to go on the inside here, and then on the outside we are going to grab this mica washer, stick it here, and then the handle right on top of it and screw it in, and then we're going to use a provided screwdriver. So I'm going to go ahead and get the handle on, and then we'll move on to the next step. Alright guys, I went ahead and put that handle in here. See, I just used a provided screwdriver, but when using this isn't the most high quality screwdriver here, so I don't know how well you can see it. There's just a lot of play in here, and you can easily strip these out when tightening them. So apply pressure against the screw and then turn. As soon as you hear it skip like that, just stop. That's enough pressure. You don't want to strip this out just in case it needs to be removed at a later time. So the next step here is we're going to turn it on its side or on its back so we can install the legs here. And from the looks of it, that's what this here is for your, well, I mentioned for your beverages, but you're going to lay it down, and it's, let me shut this lid here so it doesn't slam. Just going to lay it down here and then flip it over. See, it kind of acts as a cradle here, so it's not, kind of gives it a little stability. But you're gonna have to remove this bottom tray here, lift it out of the tray here. I'm only one person, and I don't have anywhere to place the camera to film this, but I'm just literally gonna flop it over onto that, and then I'll pick up right when I get that done. I went ahead and flipped it on its side. I literally just kind of stood in an angle, grabbed the handle, and turned it. Just be careful when doing that. This lid did flip right open. It didn't cause any damage or any harm because it fell on the cardboard there. But we're gonna grab and install the legs, and I like what they did here. They did the color coded here. You got a purple, blue, green, and yellow or orange, whatever it is. And then on these legs here, they're color coded as well. You can see the green, the orange, the purple, and blue. So we're going to grab our first leg here, and this is blue. So we're going to line up the blue here. You can see they line up dot to dot, and you want to ensure that these wheels are facing out, not in. You don't want them like this. I don't even think you can get them like that. Nope. Okay, good. So make sure they're facing out like so. And then we're going to take our hardware, and we have our big bolt, which is A. Then we got a washer, which is B. And then we're going to stick that through there. And on the opposite side, we got another washer, which is B, C, and then this little bolt to connect everything on. So we're going to go from the outside, obviously, and then just kind of go in through here all the way through, and then we'll put the rest of them on. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat the process for all 4 legs. You don't really need to see me do every one because it's the same setup here, and it's color coded. These just back legs here, got to make sure the wheels are facing out, and that was it. So for this one here, obviously it's going to be facing this way. So all right, I'll go ahead and get that installed real quick. Alright guys, I went ahead and got all the legs on here. You're gonna see that these legs, there's a slight angle, you know, up here. If you have it reversed, this is gonna be, it's wrong. So it's hard to see here. You want that angle going this way. But I failed to mention that you're not gonna need a screwdriver for this. You're going to need this this little wrench here, and then this Allen key. You're just going to go on the outside here and hold that so it doesn't rotate there. The next step is we're going to apply these little supports here. You're going to see, you're just going to grab these. You want the Traeger logo facing out and not in. And then you're going to want these E-bolts here, and they're literally just going to click like that and tighten it. You're gonna see a big gap, a lot of play. Don't be alarmed once you screw it in. There's not gonna be any play like you see here. So I'm gonna go ahead and install that here. And then after that, it's telling us to flip the grill over. So I'm gonna do that off camera, and then I'll get back with you when the grill is upright. All right, the grill is upright here. All I did was I got behind the grill. I put one hand here, my right hand here, and my left hand right here underneath, and just kind of lifted it up really quick, and there was no damage or anything. It might be easier with two people, but I'm just one person. So the next step is we're going to install this chimney stack here. We're going to need these I think F and G. It's a bolt washer, and then on the inside, once we get that through this hole like you see here, we're going to use another washer and then the bolt. So we're going to need a screwdriver and this little wrench here. Obviously this gasket here is, you need to have that on the outside like so. That prevents any of the smoke leaking or whatever. You're going to see it kind of like that on the inside. Just be careful when over tightening this here. This isn't the most thickest metal here. When you over tighten it, you create an air gap here and you get smoke that leaks out of there. So only do it hand tight, so just kind of be aware. Just kind of make sure when you get done, make sure it's flush. If it's not, you might have to take it off and bend it back a little bit, but other than that, it's fairly straightforward. So let me go ahead and get that put on real quick. Alright, I went ahead and installed that here. You can see there's no gap or anything here. You can usually feel it and stuff, so that's good to go. Now we're going to screw this top in. There's already a set bolt here. There's no need to mess with that. You can just screw it up top like so. And I usually just go all the way till it stops. You can see it's kind of roughly 2 fingers, you know. That's good enough for me. So the next step is we're going to install this handle here. And there's this hardware, it's a handle that you see here, and then you got your mica bolts or your mica washer here. That's going to go on the outside like we did on the other one, like so. And then on the inside of the grill, you're going to use your washer. I think that's a G and an E here, like so, and then you're just going to screw it in like that. So I will go ahead and install this handle real quick, and then I'll get back with you. Alright, I went ahead and put the handle on. You can see how it turned out here. So after that, we should have 0 hardware left. Nuts, bolts, washers, everything's been used. If you have anything left, you missed a step or you left something out. So next step is we're going to put this the internals in. So we're going to grab this. You're going to see it's kind of there's tabs, and we're just going to slip it into these holes here. You can see, kind of bend it, and it won't, once it's slipped in, it won't go out. And then we're going to grab our drip tray here. You're going to see on this drip tray there's little notches here. These notches are going to go on this edge here. It's tough to see, so they're just going to sit on that edge, and you want this long part here into this channel right here. Let's see if I can do this with one hand here. Okay, and once it's in, you can give it a little wiggle, and if it doesn't move very much, that means you installed it properly. So we're going to grab our cooking grate here. You can take this sticker off if you want, but this just sets in no particular way. Like so. There's some tabs here. It's hard to see. There's little tabs. It looks like it goes in between the grate on the last here, just so it's not sliding too much back and forth, you know. You can see. And then grabbing this here, and it's just gonna go and on these holes here like that. You can see if you installed it right, it's not going to move. Let's see what else. And then we're going to grab our drip cup with our liner here and going to install that like so. That's already in. And then this is the grate that I'm not going to install. I'm just going to leave it in the box. I don't have any need for it. The reason I'm not going to install it is as your pellets sometimes create a little funnel effect, and so you have to grab something to push the pellets down. Without that being installed, it's easier. I can just move the pellets around without having this little protective grate here. But that is it for this assembly. I'm going to go ahead and install this front shelf here. I'll go ahead and film that, but if you didn't buy the front shelf, you're pretty much good to go. This power cord here is just going to install at the bottom of the grill. You can see there's a sign here, and the power cord, it's hard to see, but it just plops in like so. But let me go ahead and unbox this front shelf and wherever I put it, and then we'll see what's inside that. Alright, I went ahead and unboxed this off camera just because this video is already pretty freaking long. So you're just going to have two brackets here. You're going to have 4 of these screws, your directions, and then your shelf. Step 1 is you want to take a screwdriver. You can use the one that was provided by your grill. And then you're going to see these brackets. There's an L and an R for left and right. So you're going to move these screws here, and you're going to install this. You can see there's only one way to really install it. If you try doing it this way, your bracket's angled up. So if we flip it around, you can see it goes perfectly level like so. I went ahead and did that already on this one, so you can see these screws were already here. I just took the screws off, put the bracket, and re-screwed it in. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that on that side, and then we'll get on to the next one. Alright guys, I went and installed the bracket. So I grabbed the shelf because I tried doing it on camera and it was a little difficult. This shelf is going to go on the outside of the brackets here, and you're just going to grab these screws here. You're going to see how the, sorry it's really dark, the shelf is sitting on the outside only one way, and then you're just going to screw these in. You're going to know they're not going to screw all the way in because you're going to have that little gap, and that allows it to move up and down. So let me go ahead and finish screwing that in, and then we'll do a quick overview and wrap up this video. Alright guys, I went ahead and finished installing here. You can see the screws protruding out a little bit like I mentioned earlier, and then the shelf just hangs, and then when you're ready to use it, just lift it up like so. But that's going to conclude this video here, guys. Setup was pretty straightforward. There wasn't any real surprises. Overall, the build quality seems a lot better than my previous Traegers that I've owned. They really stepped up their game. I really like this additional height that they put here. But before starting it and doing all that, you want to take all this stuff off and remove this little tube here before that. But I'm going to go ahead and put this through its paces and see how well it stacks up against the Camp Chef Woodwind SG. That's actually my #1 grill that I currently use. I use that over my Yoder just because of the versatility with the Sidekick. This retails for $7.99 without the front shelf, and then the Camp Chef retails for $8.90 or $9.99. You can typically find it for $8.99, which is about $100 difference between the two, but it's also a lot more versatile. So we're gonna see how they stack up, and then we'll just go from there. Just keep an eye out for that video. I went ahead and did this little fort or shelter here. This is the box that we lifted up, and we flipped it, and I cut it along the side and flipped it inside out. Cut these little doors here, and or the windows and the doors, and I'm gonna go take this in for my daughter to play with. So kind of neat idea for people with kids. Kudos to Traeger. Use a useless box and turn it into a fort. Their marketing is definitely on point. They stepped up their game. So, but all right, guys. Well, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything I did something wrong or something you need to clarify, go ahead and leave it down below, and I'll try to get into it as soon as I can.